I think this Shenhe looks better than even the one by Apex Toys that is currently on pre-order. Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven with episode 8 of which third-party resin figure brand is any good. Is this episode 8 or 9? I have lost track, but I'm leaving the entire playlist right up here if you want to check out my previous videos on this topic. So this is a quarterly series of videos, which means I upload one roughly every 3 months, where I took my time compiling various user pictures or actual factory production pictures of third-party resin figures from different brands, and then together we review these pictures over here and figure out which brand is good, which one to perhaps avoid because they screw up the face or the paintwork or something else. And this time around we have over 470 photographs over here, a lot because this video arrived a little bit late. I should have published this earlier in October, at least 2 weeks ago, but we had anime figure events, we had additional figure reviews that I needed to finish off from my previous figure haul, so this one was delayed by quite a bit. We are looking at figure pictures from roughly early July to first week of October that has been released by figure brands. So by now, you may come across newer pictures that came out a few days ago but not included over here for obvious reasons. One more thing would be today's episode has a lot of Anya forgers, but those figures they often turn out fine, so hopefully that will speed up things a little bit. Now starting off with the first figure brand over here in alphabetical order, we have ABsinthe Studio. I don't really want to go through this brand that much anymore, because they are consistently excellent nowadays. There really isn't much to discuss. And for this figure over here, this is the Acheron from Honkai Star Rail. This one went on pre-order almost a year ago, if not longer than that, and she turns out excellent. Just that this is the only one single picture I have. I don't have any close-up pictures, but going by this photo alone, even looking at her from a distance, her face looks very accurate. It looks like Acheron, so I don't see an issue over here. In fact, I have reviewed one figure from this brand on this channel. They are Jingliu from Honkai Star Rail, and that one was fabulous. You can check out my review. So this is a brand that I can easily recommend. Though we are not hearing from them much recently, you don't see their names appearing in pre-orders every week because they are trying to catch up with all of the heavy delays since the incident that happened in China 2 years ago. Yeah. Moving on to the next one, we have ACGN 02 Studio. Blue Archive Zako-chan. So I'm suspecting that ACGN 02 Studio is probably the same brand as ACG Studio that we used to see very often in the past. Could be the same brand, and this figure over here, I would imagine that it is selling very well because, you know, there are bootlegs of this figure out there already, widely available. They cost like $10. Yes, believe it or not, the bootleggers, they go and bootleg their own Chinese brands because these things are so expensive and limited after all. Looks fine, the face looks nice, but there is a general lack of detail, right? Not much shading over here because the figure is mostly black color, but if the price is low, why not? Right. Moving on to the next brand over here, ACY Studio. This is a brand that has been around for many years, and in general, I can recommend them very easily, even though, once again, I don't have any close-up pictures of this Grand Blue Fantasy Narmaya. I remember this figure very well because I covered it in my figure news fix before, and back then, I have already told you guys to get it. And not to get the bikini version like the one on the left, to get the one where she is wearing her game outfit, this one over here. Looking fabulous. I like it a lot. In general, we don't need more Grand Blue Fantasy figures, I suppose. And as you can see, you don't get Hadaka parts anymore. You either get the normal game clothing, game skin, or you get a bikini version, which is like their way of giving you guys fan service without any Hadaka parts. Some people won't be happy with this, but I think that is fine. Yeah. Not every third-party resin figure has to come with a pink slit between their legs. Next up, okay, we actually have a closer up picture? Is this a picture or a video? Because I have a few videos over here. No, this is a picture. A close-up picture of a face. What do you think? I think it looks very good, right? And fortunately, we're getting an anime face, not a realistic face. ACY Studio, they sometimes also make realistic conversions. Paintwork looking great so far. I'm seeing some heavy gradients on her horns and even the lavender purple hair. Moving up next, we have Adalyn Studio Wuthering Waves Changli, and that looks massive. Wow, this is huge. This has to be at least a 1x4, if not bigger than that. Maybe even 1x3. Okay, and oh, realistic faces, come on. The paintwork is good though. Look at the color transition of a pink hair into purple at the very edges. It looks really nice. Even the outfit, right? I'm seeing some color gradients everywhere. Like the white color chest region, you can see some bluish gray at the very ends, at the very edges. Yeah, this is what I want to see in anime figures. Looking great. And this is the fan service version. I can't even call it Hadaka version. Oh, we do have a clearer look of her face, and we do have an anime version. More like game version. Okay, this one looks nice, really. I know nothing about Adalyn Studio, but this is looking very nice. And this is not product pictures, right? Not official product pictures that they showed us during the pre-order period. This is the final production picture. Realistic face, anime face. Of course, if it was me, I would display her with the anime style face easily. Okay, this is a very good Changli figure, and we don't have any 1x4 scales of her yet. Only 1x7 scales from the licensed figure brands out there currently on pre-order. This looks like a very good brand that I can recommend, going by these pictures alone. Right, moving up next, we have Atheria Studio One Piece Boa Hancock. So once again, with Boa Hancock, roughly 9 out of 10 times, the figures turn out fine. There are rare occasions where the face looks very off, but most of the time, they turn out fine because they are so experienced in making One Piece figures already. So this one looks good, right? It really depends on whether you like the version or not in terms of the pose, the outfit, and so on. This one has a nice amount of fan service. Up next, we have AF Studio, Rei Ayanami with motorcycle. Okay, so this Rei Ayanami over here, original bike design, which is not bad, but there is a different Rei Ayanami figure later on that I like a little bit more than this one. Even though that one is featuring a more conventional sports bike instead of a science fiction-ish one like this one. So I think this is down to personal taste. This is not bad, just that there is another one later on which I think looks quite a bit better. What do you think about her face? This is anime style, the Eva movie style. And I get it, right? Some people, they don't like the face, some they like it. This is very subjective. With characters like Evangelion, you know, there are so many different ways they draw the characters. And sometimes the third-party sculptors and artists, they also draw it differently. Up next, Alice21 Studio Blue Archive. This is Mika, right? Misono Mika from Blue Archive, I think. So this one, I'm not so sure. You see, Alice21 Studio is a brand that I have repeatedly recommended to everyone so many times. But this Misono Mika, I'm not too sure. Like, the quality is excellent, but I'm not sure what to think about her face. Maybe it is the viewing angle, but I don't think her face over here looks as good as the official scale figures by Good Smile and a few other brands, right? Those are on pre-order, I think. So this one, it feels like a miss to me. Yeah, unfortunately, because their previous releases have been excellent so far. And this is the first time, the very first time I'm casting a bit of doubt on Alice21 Studio's figure. I'm not sure if I like this Mika figure over here, unfortunately. Paintwork and detailing otherwise are excellent as usual. Up next, okay, the same brand, Alice21 Studio, but we have Surasaki Hina over here, which looks so much better than Misono Mika earlier. As you can see, this one is so much nicer. The face is very accurate, and I don't think there is anything I would change on this figure. They got it so right over here, And then the gold color trims on the dress, very accurately painted, no paint bleeding. This is beautiful. Now this is the one I can recommend, but if you did not pre-order one and then now you go out and look for one, it is a bit hard to find it in stock. This one, easy recommendation right here. Right, oh, I saved so many pictures because I wanted to share the details with you guys. Okay, moving up next, Alice21 Studio again. This is their Alexandrina Sebastian from Zenless Zone Zero. So will you still go for this one or will you wait for the one by Apex Toys? I think the Apex Toys one is an easy recommendation, right? Third party is going to be a bit more pricey, but once again, they did a great job on the face over here. The face is nice and the pose and everything. Oh, this is great. And even if you prefer the genuine one, I think this is not a bad addition to your collection if you are a big fan of Zenless Zone Zero. So far, the reaction I've seen from people in the figure hobby towards this game, Zenless Zone Zero, has been pretty average. Like, there are a few people who really liked them, but the excitement is not as big as I had hoped. Yeah. Alright, up next, Arctic Wolf Studio Honkai Star Rail Yunli. So, I brought up this topic, right, about Arctic Wolf Studio. Was it a month ago? How this company is probably shutting down for good because their boss, their CEO perhaps has fled China because he owes money to various different factories. And apparently he fled to Japan. Yeah, I have a video dedicated to that. And back in that video, I have also mentioned that this is their last figure, at least the last one officially by Arctic Wolf Studio. And it looks good, right? I think the factory, the manufacturer did a fabulous job over here. The face looks fantastic as well. But I have also heard stories from behind the scenes in the industry itself, where there are a select few Arctic Wolf Studio figures that are planned for release in future. The factory that was contracted to manufacture them, they will release them anyway. They will release those figures independent of Arctic Wolf Studio. So don't give up on the pre-orders yet. The best advice I can give is to stay in contact. Keep in touch with the figure store that you pre-ordered your figures from. Ask them about this thing over here, about Arctic Wolf Studio shutting down and whether select few future releases will be released anyway. Yeah, who knows, you might get it. Moving on to the next one, Arctic Wolf Studio again. Okay, this is Rabbit Hole Miku. I'm not sure if this came out before or after Yunli, but these are all the final few figures from this brand. And I would love to zoom in if I can. I'm not sure if the resolution of the picture is high enough. You see, as I zoom in, the picture is becoming blurry right here. Let me zoom out a bit. Okay. So the face looks great, right? I think the face looks fantastic over here. So it is not like this brand is bad at making figures, but they still ran into financial issues thanks to what happened to China once again 2 years ago. You guys knew what happened. Alright, getting back over here, we move on to the next picture. This is the official product pictures that they showed us during the pre-order period. So compare it to that picture that I showed you guys zoomed in earlier. They look identical, right? They got the face right over here. Up next, we have Astral Spirit Studio Blue Archive Hasumi Hanekawa. I'm not sure if I'm looking at Hasumi from Blue Archive or Albedo from Overlord. What do you think? I think Furyu has a scale figure of her, right? But the pose was pretty bland. And that was a gym outfit, I think. Was that the same character? I can't remember. All I remembered was a girl in black hair with black wings and a huge oppai. Could be the same character. Yep, no cast off. This is all you get. As for her face, unfortunately, this is all I have. But I think it looks good, at least from this distance over here. Up next, Athena X. This is a licensed brand, I think. Yeah. So we are looking at Izakaya Mystia. What is the name again? Toho. Oh, this is from Toho. Mystia Izakaya Mystia Lorelei Song of something. Well, licensed brand, so it has to be good, right? Okay, here we have more pictures. Yeah, close-up picture, looks great. I wouldn't change a thing. And I think this is obviously like PVC figure level detail, isn't it? About what I would expect at a price of roughly 20,000 yen for a scale PVC figure. Base looks really good. I love it. Up next, we have ATOPOS Studio Chainsaw Man Makima. This is a 1.6 or 1.4, I can't remember. In laundry, but the most important thing would be the face, which I think looks accurate. You compare it to the official product pictures, right? Not how she looks in anime. The figure that I covered in Figure News Fix a few months ago, it looks accurate, it looks the same, so no problems over here. This is a brand that you can go for if you like what you're looking. Up next, BBSD Studio Honkai Style Fusion. Okay, BBSD Studio is also a brand that I had no problems recommending. Just that if we look at Fusion as a character, this is far from my favorite figure. I think there are better ones out there, or you can just play it safe and get the one by Apex Toys, nothing wrong with that. But if I wanted something with a bit of fan service, a bit of Hadaka, then I think there are still a few options out there in stock, not many left. It still looks like Fusion, but somehow there is something a bit off. I'm not sure if her eyes are a bit too far apart and we are talking about half a millimeter or 1 millimeter at most. Something is slightly different, but I can forgive it. I mean, the heavy shading on the hair and the blush on the face, there is a lot of careful painting and weathering from BBSD Studio. I think the paintwork looks fantastic. And of course, they always pay extra attention to the feet of any resin figure for some reason. Every brand seems to do that. And I have to admit, this is a lot more detailed than any PVC figure out there by genuine licensed brands when it comes to detail on the feet. It has to be viewing angle. I think this photograph, it looks a little bit weird. Could be distortion from smartphone cameras, who knows? But I don't think this photo is taken with a smartphone camera though. It looks professionally taken. But this one over here, it looks much better for some reason. I'm not sure why. Right, moving up next, BB Girl Studio Asuka from Evangelion. And this one, I don't think I can recommend because it is a bit too plain and simple, obviously. But the second issue, I think there is a problem with her face. What do you think? I think her face is a little bit too fat. No, fat is not the right word. How do I put it? I think Asuka's face is a lot sharper. Like very triangular. This is a bit too much flesh, too meaty on the cheeks region. I think her face should be sharper a little bit more. Yeah, so there is a problem with the sculpt on her face in my opinion. It looks like her, right? And the paintwork is actually good. Look at the shading on her hair, the orange over there. It looks good, just that her face is a bit too puffy to my liking. Up next, we have BBSD Studio Anya Forger crossover with Mario. This is a good one, but I feel like her eyes are a tad bit too big. Right? Her eyes are too big. I think this figure had so much potential, but they have ruined the eyes over here. I'm not sure if it is intentional. Maybe they wanted her to look like the actual Mario character who has big eyes, which is why they make her eyes this big, but I'm not sure if I like it. Yeah, it could be intentional. So it wouldn't be fair to call them out for the massive eyes over here. Up next, BBSD Studio as well. Venom Anya. So let's compare the eyes on in this one and the one. Yes, I think this one is slightly smaller. It is still massive, but it is slightly smaller. If you measure the gap between her eyes, the bottom border of her eyes with the mouth, this one, there is a narrow gap. This one, there is a bit more gap. Like, there is more cheeks over there, right? Yeah. So, the proportions are definitely different over here. So, this could have been intentional. As for Venom Anya, what do you think? I'm not feeling it. Not a big fan. But I think this one looks fine. Up next, we have Beast Studio Chobits Chi. Okay, so with Beast Studio, they are a bit inconsistent. They have released Asuka figures where one of you, yeah, you watch my channel. I'm sorry, I don't remember your name anymore. You have emailed me pictures of your Beast Studio Asuka before.
in yellow summer dress, if I believe. And the face on that is a bit of a train wreck. And you were trying to sell it off eBay. I believe I mentioned this in a separate episode 3 months ago as well. But this figure of Chobits over here is turning out nice, I have to say. Yeah, it looks like her. And if you have been watching anime for the past 5 years or less, then I wouldn't blame you if you don't know who she is. This is from a very old anime. Next up, we have Blink Studio Wuthering Waves Camellia Bunny version. Looking fine, but very simple figure. Yeah, this is the only picture I have. That is the shitty part, I wish that I get to see a closer up picture, but if the studio does not provide them, then can't do anything about it. Up next, Boa Hancock again by Bright Studio. Now this one, I have a problem with the face. I don't think I like her eyes at all. Right? It could be because they are following the older art style, like One Piece, the first 100 episodes and the latest episode. Very different, right? They improved the animation and the art style over time. And I think this one is more towards the older art style, which I don't like. Up next, we have Bunny Studio, a brand that I just couldn't recommend. Because all they are doing is rehashing an existing licensed PVC figure into more popular characters in a way. So what you're looking at over here, this is Hotao, I believe. Hotao from Genshin Impact. This looks like a slightly better low-budget PVC figure. Is it even slightly better? I think they're roughly the same, but they cost around $100 each if I remembered correctly. And even at a low $100 for a resin figure, I think it is not good value. And these figures over here, they are obviously a replica, a copy of SSR figures, Bunny Girl figures, which are roughly 10 to 12,000 yen each, if I remembered correctly. Yeah, SSR Studio SSR figure by Infinity Studio. They have bunny figures that look very similar to this. They copied the whole thing, but then they turned it into Genshin Impact figure. But in order to keep a low price, I think these figures are not turning out well. They look like slightly better price figures even. Yeah, this is price figure level quality, I would say. And Furina's face over here, I'm not sure if I like it. Right? I think it is the low detail, not doing the figures any justice. Right, up next we have Chikara Studio, Cardcaptor Sakura. This one looks great though. Cardcaptor Sakura, you have plenty of choices. You can always buy the genuine licensed PVC figures from Kotobukiya or Good Smile first. I'm not sure how rare the Good Smile version is. Yeah, the online exclusive from many years ago. As for this one, I'm not sure if I like her face because I feel like her mouth is a little bit too close to her nose, but my criticism might be unwarranted because, 1990s anime art style is very different from today. Maybe anime characters back then look like this. So I can't be sure, right? I don't watch anime that are that old to make a very objective judgment over here, but I do find her mouth to be too close to her nose over here. The decal work and painting looks good on this figure otherwise. Right, up next, HeRa Studio and their Anyas, right? So there are two studios that are experts in Anya figures. One is ZH Studio, one is HeRa Studio. And whenever you see these two names, ZH or HeRa Studio, feel free to buy their Anyas. So I will go through this very quickly because they look fantastic. And I kept asking, how many Anyas do you need? And the answer from these brands appear to be yes, because they manufactured so many, so obviously they got a lot of pre-orders. Right? Oh, so many of them. Whoa, look at this Anya army, man. There are at least 50 of them in this picture, and this is only a small portion. Up next, oh, this figure was insanely popular back then. Now you get to see the final form. Crazy Rabbit Studio Arc Knights Suzuran. So I would love them to give us a picture of her at a lower angle, if they can move the camera a bit lower, so that I can judge it more objectively, comparing her to the official product pictures back then. But even from this slightly different angle, I think they did a great job. And I suppose that, hey, get one. Get one. If you can find it in stock, of course. This figure, I've sold quite a few. My affiliate site, I've sold quite a few back then. Many people pre-ordered it, so glad to see her turning out very well. Oh, I just love the paintwork on her hair and on her tail as well. The color transition looks very nice. You see, I don't need cast off or 18 plus stuff. This is more than enough when it comes to fan service, right? Okay, from this angle, her face looks even better. Nice work, Crazy Rabbit Studio. Nice work. Next up, we have Anayanami by Cute Creator Studio. Okay, so it is nice that they are giving us an bento box and even a box of milk over there. It feels like you're paying for the box rather than a figure. And I should have rotated the picture. Can I rotate it? Okay, we do have a horizontal picture over here. I think she turns out nice, and boy, the fake bento box is making me hungry. Anayanami, if you don't like what you're looking at, fine, right? You have so many choices by now. Every brand is making a scale figure of her. Oh, once again, I love the paintwork on her blue hair. The bright portion in the center, yeah, that makes the figure looks more detailed. Up next, we have Damocles Studio Tokyo Ghoul Kirishima Toka. Okay, this one, I'm starting to remember things. I'm not sure if I like her face. This is a very dark picture. I know. They wanted to replicate the same vibe we see in the anime or the manga. I get it. This is a very nice picture, even though it is dark, because there is some very nice mysterious vibe going on. But I needed a clear look of her face, right? And after I saw pictures of her face, I'm not sure if I like it. The wings looks fantastic though. There we go. So what do you think about her face over here? Because I think her eye is a tad bit too big. If they made her eyes a little bit sleeker, a little bit narrower, then I think she would look a lot fiercer, a lot more fearsome, and still look pretty. I feel like the eyes are a tad bit too big. Not that it is bad looking. This is still better than the Kotobukiya one that went on re-release last week. Maybe I'm just a bit too picky, I'm not too sure. But when resin figures are not exactly cheap, they average 200 plus US dollars, I think I need to be more nitpicky with faces of the figure. That is the first part. You should get it right on any anime figure after all. Detail level, of course, it beats the Kotobukiya one by a long mile. This is so much more detailed. Up next, Deep Studio, Anya Forger again. So you buy this for the face and nothing else. I find this Anya figure to be a tad bit boring. The outfit and everything, the pose as well. Just that you're buying it for the crying face or for the troll face, right? Up next, Dodomo Studio has only one single picture of this Asuna from Blue Archive. But boy, did it turn out so well. Given the new rules over in China, you can no longer cast off these figures. Unfortunately, it is a shame. But if you pre-ordered one, I would urge you to keep it. There are no close-up pictures to show you. I couldn't find any. But from this one picture alone, I can tell that they did a fantastic work with her face. They nailed her face even. But it is no surprise because Asuna Ichinose seems to be the kind of character where it is very easy to get her face right. There are bootleg brands out there or even unlicensed PVC figure brands out there making $25 figures of Asuna and they got her face so right. Yeah. And I think I could attribute that to her eye. She only has one eye in a way, the other one is covered. So it is not hard to get her face right. This one is turning out very nice and I believe there are two versions, right? There is another version where she is in missionary position. But I don't think you have to worry regardless of which version you pre-ordered. This is looking excellent from Dodomo Studio. Next one, Dodomo Studio as well. Ryoge Kisaki. There is a Hadaka version where they modified it by placing plasters on her red dots on her chest and also on her crotch region to follow the new rules by the government in China, but still looks plenty hot in a way. I couldn't show that picture on screen, obviously. I do have it, but I couldn't show it. This one is also actual production picture, not the pre-order pics, the final production picture. Yeah, go for it if you can find one. Up next, we have Dolphin Studio Asuka. Okay, this one, the face, I think it looks fine, but you know what? I find it hard to recommend simply because of how plain and simple the wedding dress is. Like, a lack of effort in shading, I would say. Maybe there is some of it, right? If they give us closer up pictures, then I would be able to evaluate the pictures a lot better. But this is all I have. And there is Ray over here with a black sticker on her crotch region for fan service. Face looks accurate, but overall the color looks pretty dull. Like, they went too hard on the matte coating, I think. Yeah. Up next, we have Dragon and Pop Studio. They make a lot of cheaper one-piece figures. They are roughly between 100 to 130 bucks maybe. They are quite cheap. And in general, they do get the face right. I don't have much complaints with this brand. Just that I don't really, collect One Piece. Like Yamato's face over here, it looks nice. But this is not the kind of Yamato figure that I want. I want her in combat in her traditional Japanese outfit. This is for those of you who want a cheap figure of One Piece and get it with decent quality. Big Mom over here, young Big Mom, also looks fine. And here, Dragon and Pop Studio with their realistic face version of Shenhe. No, not my kind of thing. This looks like a 1x4 to me. This is just a statue of a cosplayer. I know that I complain about this so much, but apparently in China, people love realistic conversions, which is why the Chinese brands keep making them, right? It makes sense. It sells in China. Up next, we have Dragon and Pop Studio again, One Piece, Boa Hancock. So many figures of her, but this is far from my favorite. In fact, from a distance, I think this face looks a little bit off. It is like semi-realistic, half anime style. And the one on the right, the one in purple, you can see that the face and the hair is ever so slightly different. Yes, I think this one looks quite a bit better. At least to get to choose, I suppose. Next one, we have Nico Robin, also looking great, but swimsuit version. Nico Robin again. Yeah, different color versions, right? Next one here, DTalon Studio, Yu-Gi-Oh! Black Magician Girl. And, oh, nice work, man. This is a great purchase, isn't it? Yeah, the face is a bit different if you compare to the ones made by Max Factory, for example, but it is still very nice. Why not? And I love the metallic paint on the helmet. I think it looks nice. 1x6 scale from the looks of it. Up next, we have Faith Studio Overwatch Diva. Okay, so it looks fine, but I'm not sure if I like this Diva figure. There are other options out there though. I think they should have provided us with a picture of her face at a slightly lower angle, but I think the face looks fine, just that I've seen better before from other brands. That is what I feel over here. Her outfit is great though. Next up, okay, this is the kind of Boa Hancock figure which I like a lot more. I know that I've complained about messy bases, but I think this one is neat enough. And you get a clear look of Boa Hancock in the middle. It is not like the main character is lost amidst all of that mess of a base. This one is good. Fantasy Studio. It is a tad bit too big for me. Like the base is a tad bit too much. But the main figure itself looks majestic. Next up, we have FG Studio Ada Wong from Resident Evil. 1x6 scale from the looks of it, and her face is sweet. Very lovely. Oh man. I still prefer her in this red color outfit, this default outfit. This is a very good 1x6 scale, man. Seamless action figure. Oh. There are many different brands making action figures of Ada Wong, but in terms of the prettiest face, this is among the top ones out there. Next up, we have Fixed Cast Studio Blue Archive Planar. Okay, Fixed Cast Studio. I have been keeping an eye on them. Their figures are roughly between $150 to $200. And they have made a few Blue Archive figures where, you know, the initial pre-order pictures, they looked very nice. Now that the actual figure is out, I would say that the face is accurate, but the colors overall are pretty dull. Yes, I think a bit more shading would be nice for the figure. And maybe if they painted her hair in semi-gloss rather than just matte all the way, then the figure would look a bit better, because when you paint a figure entirely in matte paint, the hair, the face, the skin, the outfit, the bikini and everything, then the figure will appear dull. But if you mix things up, some parts are full gloss, some parts are partial gloss, semi-gloss, and the skin region is matte, then the figure will look a lot nicer. Yeah, but this one is like matte throughout the entire figure. And here we have Blue Archive Ryuge Kisaki as well, where the face is pretty accurate, but I think Dodomo Studio's version is a lot more attractive. Yeah, Ryuge Kisaki is such a simple character after all, just black Chinese dress. I could have replaced her head with Kasugano Sora and you have a Kasugano Sora Chinese dress version figure. Face looks good, but same complaints as Planar earlier, the entire figure looks a bit dull. Right, up next, same brand, Fixed Cast Studio and Clay. So I'm not sure what to think about her face over here, one single picture. If you don't like it, well, you have two other options, the 1x4 scale by Freeing or the 1x7 scale by this brand called, yeah, Flare, right? I believe Flare has it. Not cheap, 23,000 yen. Next one, Fixed Cast Studio again, Honkai Star's Firefly. Which the face looks fine, but now we have the good smile version coming, you know? The one with Sunwon Fest Shanghai. This is too softcore for fan service. Next up, wow, FWS Studio and their Boing Boing L size from Adalyn. I believe this is a 1x4 scale. Yeah, not comparable to the Apex Toys one that is going on pre-order soon. This looks good if you want a giant figure of L size, and the pose and everything pretty attractive, though the photograph is a bit too dark over here. Will a genuine figure brand make a 1x4 of her? I would say yes, just a matter of time. And the top candidates would probably be Freeing and Alpha Max, right? This one looks good. I think this is a very good figure of her. Next up, okay, this is among the worst Anya figures that you will see in today's video. I'm not sure if I like the face at all. I feel like it is too elongated, right? Yeah, Anya's face is like short and wide. This is the exact opposite, where it is vertically elongated. This is by Geisha Studio, Anya wearing a Pikachu suit. And there are two sizes over here. The bigger one is probably 1x2 or even bigger than that, maybe even life-sized. And no, it does not look really that great over here somehow. The hair could also make do with a bit more shading. Next up, Gulu Gulu Studio and their Little Red Riding Hood Anya. This is nice. You look at the paint work right on the hair over here. You focus on her pink hair and then you compare it to this one before. This one is lacking gradient. There is only a slight bit of it. This one is more prominent. And this is what I love to see in anime figures. And here is a brown hair version, which is more accurate to Little Red Riding Hood, I suppose. This is a tough choice because both look pretty good. Next up, we have Furina from... No, this is Furina. I'm sorry. I don't play the game, so I can't differentiate between Furina and the other girl. What's her name again? This is by Hakimi Studio, where their figures are normally okay, but not exceptional. It is a brand that I find it easy to recommend, but they are nowhere close to some of the better brands out there. Like, I regard ABsinthe Studio to be better in comparison. They are roughly B tier, perfectly average, but still good purchases regardless if you can find one at a good price. Unfortunately, there are not many good Furina figures. Yeah, average ones, you can find a few options out there for third parties. And Apex Toys, when? When will you guys make a PVC of her? So what do you think about her face? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm not exactly a fan of this character's color scheme. Even more so for her hair because it reminds me of toothpaste. This is toothpaste hair, man. And the white color regions, once again, lacking shading. I think this is both Furina and full colors, right? Two characters over there, yeah. The next one here, also Hakimi Studio, Acheron from Honkai Star Rail. And this is what the face looks like. Once again, it does not look bad, but there are better brands out there. The hair is also lacking gradient. I feel I'm complaining the same thing all day today. And this is the white version. The white version can see a bit more color gradients. It is a bit more obvious. The edges are slight purple. Man, these figures were on pre-order at least a year ago. It has been quite a while. Next up, this looks pretty good. Hao Bo Studio, Cammy from Street Fighter. Right, the face looks pretty good. Putting aside my disdain for Street Fighter 6 characters, it looks pretty good. Not complaining about the craftsmanship over here. Right, so we have a chibi version of Reze by HeRa Studio. HeRa Studio is pretty weird because either they do chibi figures or they do 1x4 scales. They don't have many 1x6 figures, not in recent memory. The purple here looks so good. Right. This is a pretty good chibi figure. And here we have Higashima Kobeni, also by HeRa Studio. And I believe it is a 1x4 scale and she was under $300 if you pre-ordered early. Not sure how many people will buy. Kobeni has never given off the perception where she is extremely popular. At least that is what I observed among fans of Chainsaw Man. Yeah, her anxiety face as usual. Looking good. HeRa Studio, I just made them a main highlight. The brand to watch in my previous episode of this series of third-party resin figure brands. I recommended them, right? Yeah. So the next one here, HeRa Studio as well. And this is Ren Yamashiro from Mato Seihei no Slave. Oh, that is fabulous work. There are two versions. There is also the semi-realistic one here, which does not look bad to be honest. Looks like a pretty cosplayer, but of course this is the one I would display the figure with. There we go. 1x4 scale as well. Man, they never cease to impress me. I like this brand a lot, HeRa Studio. And this is the realistic version. They tend to keep their boxes simple, as you can see in the background, to cut cost, I suppose. Next up, HeRa Studio again, Your Forger. Okay, this one, I can't say I'm that big of a fan, but I mean, it is fine. It is accurate, at least for the anime version. They give you guys a choice. Yeah, this one is but this one looks good. Very accurate even. 1x4 scale again. Up next, HeRa Studio again. They are releasing so much stuff. This is a 1x4 scale Miyazono Kaori from Your Lie in April. And you don't have any alternatives. No genuine figure brands make a 1/4 of her. Next up, we have Hwanjang Studio Anya again cosplaying as Roronoa Zoro from One Piece. Not a fan of the color scheme over here. Yeah, looks like toxic waste, especially the green color over there. Something radioactive even. This is one radioactive figure we are looking at. Next up, Hui Xiang Studio, Vladilena Milidze. Okay, this is not bad. I wish that I have closer up pics once again. And for Vladilena Milidze, I would prefer the Kadokawa one, if I can find one. Not easy to find one nowadays. One more thing would be, I just couldn't wait for Season 2. And that sweet Sawano Hiroyuki soundtrack. One of my favorite composers in the world of anime. Oh, I do have a closer up pic. See, I don't remember. Looks good though. Hui Xiang Studio is also a brand where they are mostly average to above average. I don't have problems recommending them. But of course, they are being overshadowed by many other better brands out there. Now here we have Lingyun Studio. Oh, I have almost forgotten about them. Jigoku Shoujo, I Emma, and a pretty good one as well. Good Smile has a scale figure of her. Very expensive, 30,000 yen, and I'm not sure how rare or common that one is today. This is a really good figure of her. The sculpt on the face, very accurate, similar to what I see in the anime. Nice work, Lingyun Studio. Next one, this is my favorite figure in today's episode of which third-party resin figure brand is any good. My favorite figure today, we are looking at Hyperspace Studio Genshin Impact Shenhe. And I believe this is a 1x4. Could be a 1x6, I don't remember. I apologize if I got the scale wrongly. Could be a 1x6. Oh yeah, I think it is a 1x6 because their whole tile is 1x6. Anyways, I think this Shenhe looks better than even the one by Apex Toys that is currently on pre-order. It is like there is an additional layer or two of extra detail, something like that. It is hard to put it into words, but this one looks more refined, looks more premium, something like that. But it is more expensive than the Apex one, so it better be superior in a way. And there is also a almost Hadaka version over here, but you know what? They had to modify the figure. Now they put her hair on the opai so that you don't get to see the genitals, right? So that is their way of censoring the figure. And if you pre-ordered the deluxe version, then go ahead and keep the deluxe version. If you are looking to buy one today in stock, then I would say stick with the standard version, right? This Hadaka version over here, the face is a bit different. As you can see, she looks extra dry, extra horny, that extra blush over there. But I'm not sure if I like this face. I think the standard version face looks a lot better, right? This one. Yeah, this one looks a lot better. It looks more natural. And it depicts Shenhe's character and personality a lot better over here. So this is the one I would go for. And I will skip the edgy version. This is so good, man. The pose, the detail on the outfit. Ooh. The skin looks realistic as well. Man, Hyperspace Studio once again, but Eve from Stellar Blade. And this one, she turns out way nicer than I expected. I remember covering this one in Figure News Fix as well. Oh boy, the red color shiny suit. Oh! Let's put it this way, Hyperspace Studio is the main highlight brand for today's episode. This is a 1x4 scale. Oh. Would you display her with glasses or without? For me, I would remove the glasses because I already wear one. Man, that shiny outfit. Okay, up next, Imagination Studio is a brand that is so easy to recommend. A brand that I highly regard as well. I have reviewed 2 figures from them. Which one was it? I do have a Yae Miko figure. Not this one, a different version. And that one was a bit problematic. There was a design flaw, which is probably why they are releasing a different version of Yae Miko. Yeah, the previous release where she was sitting on a tree branch, that one had a design flaw where she falls off very easily. The magnet was way too weak. And this new version over here, from the looks of it, is much better. The problem is the cost, the price. This is $500 during pre-order. Could be more expensive after release. Because this thing is massive. Yeah, this thing is huge. 1x6 scale, at least $500, but worth every penny if you can afford one. Next up, we have Jiang Studio, Totoro, Anya Forger. Okay. This one I don't like. It almost looks like price figure in some way. Yeah. The skin is a bit too shiny, I would say, making the figure look cheap, making it feel like I'm looking at a bootleg, something like that. I think her skin is a tad bit too shiny, too glossy over there. Yup, Totoro. Okay. This is by Jiang Studio as well, and now it looks even worse in this picture. I appreciate the shading in her hair. There is some shading, but yeah, the skin is way too glossy. Nope, not for me. Same thing. Up next, we have swimsuit Yelan from Genshin Impact, and I feel like I'm looking at a price figure again. So now you guys get to see, right, the difference. Some brands are so good, some feel like you're paying $100 for a price figure. This is another one of those cases. Hakimi Studio, But when a figure is this low in detail, usually you can already tell, even in their official product pictures during pre-order period. Next up, we have KOD Studio. Okay, KOD Studio is also average, and they have a few good figures over there. This is like the version B of their Hoshimi Miyabi from Zenless Zone Zero, the one that I would tell you to forget, a waste of money. Instead, you should get this one, which still looks fine, but by today, why not wait for the one by Apex Toys, right? This one is not as good as the Apex Toys one in terms of pose, but at least the face is very good, and that is what I really care about. The first thing I care about even, right? They got the face right. There's nothing quite wrong with this version, just that it is a bit too simple and plain. And I believe this could have been a Hadaka version just a year ago or 2 years ago. I'm not sure when this went on pre-order. But now, white bikini, no. Next up, we have LGY Studio and Lingyun from Honkai Star Rail. Now, this one is looking pretty nice. That gaze where she is looking at you like that. Yeah, the face is nice. I love this one. I feel like these pictures over here are not doing her any justice. They could be of better quality. Nice shading on her tail in general. Yes, I was looking for a close-up pic of her face. Looks great to me. Looks fine. Yeah, she looks better from this angle, isn't it? You need her to look into your eyes. Right, next up we have Alice21 Studio Free Run. You know, if I want a third-party free run figure today, I would look for a 1x4 scale maybe. This looks fine, but I'm not sure what scale it is. It feels like a 1x6 scale to me. Face is also great. I don't even know what to comment anymore. Atheria Studio WLOP official licensed. Oh yeah, I remember this one. What's the name again? Licensed Yao Ming 1x4 scale. So being a licensed figure, usually they will turn out fine, right? Yeah, it looks great. She is actually Hadaka, just that her body is so full of tattoos that it does not look that way to me. This is pretty much identical to the official product pictures from a few months ago. They did a great job. Up next, we have Lingyun Studio Street Fighter Fighting Girl Cammy. Wow, they made her look extra British over here for some reason. She looks like a textbook British country bumpkin girl of some kind for some reason. A bit too heavy on the makeup, but whatever. She still looks fine. And here we have Little Toys Studio and Manufacture Studio. We do HeRa Setsuna. So we don't get many options in the third parties when it comes to redo HeRa. This is a unique figure of her. And the face is a bit different, right? From what we saw in the anime. This could be based off the manga or whatever original content she originated from. But color gradient looks great on the hair. 1x6 scale from the looks of it, or even a bit smaller. No, this feels like a 1x7. Yeah. Next one, oh. Little Witch Studio nailed it. This figure of Iochi Mari from Blue Archive is so good. Yeah, I remember getting a lot of orders for this one. This one was pretty popular back then during a pre-order period. And she turns out perfect. The face, the backside, everything. Of course, you won't get a Hadaka part down there, right? Lolikoo Studio, Blue Archive, Asagi, Mutsuki. So this thing, it looks low detail, I know, but you need to remember that this is a $110 figure. And at this price point, they almost got it right, almost. Just that her nose is not prominent enough. It feels like she does not have any nose, but given the correct lighting, maybe her face will look a little bit better. And even with my small criticism on the face, usually, right, these low-budget blue archive figures from Lolikoo Studio, they sell out very quickly. And because of that, there are actually bootlegs of them out there. If you go to Taobao and take a look around, you may come across a figure like this or the other blue archive characters, but they cost like $30, $25. Yeah, those are the bootlegs. So they are very popular. I guess that as long as the quality is decent and the price is low enough, people will still buy it. It does not have to be the best thing ever. Next up, we have Lingyun Studio Honkai Impacted Raiden Mei. And I don't think I have a closer pick, but you should check out this studio's Bronya J-Chick with the huge bike. Came out like last year. It was really good. And for that reason alone, I won't have any doubt that this figure will be fabulous as well. Yeah, Lingyun Studio is a brand that I can easily recommend. And their prices are somewhat reasonable. I would say that Bronya J-Chick figure was huge, with a full 1x6 scale bike, and it was $350. Yeah. Right, next up we have LoveHolic Studio Honkai Style Firefly, and I'm surprised by how well she turns out. Granted, I think that her hair can make do with some improvements. It feels like her hair is made of concrete. From this picture over here, we need some gradient, some finer details, but the face looked very good. I remember writing off this figure as average, but she turns out way better than I expected. So would you prefer her with the helmet or without? I think I would prefer her with the helmet over here. Just to give it a bit more detail, you know. You can get the normal Firefly figure from Good Smile or any other brands, and then you display a second or a third figure of her with the armor on. That would be fantastic as well. Right, next up here we have LoveHolic Studio and their Honkai Style Robin. Face turns out perfect. I remember this one very well. She was on pre-order just not too long ago. I think it was 6 months ago, and now she is ready for release with a perfectly replicated face. So, goodbye. Moving up next, we have Lucky Studio One Piece Nico Robin, and I think she is wearing something down there, but it almost looks like she is going commando, so I had to cover it just in case, right? I think the image quality is so bad that even the white color or beige color pantsu almost looks like she's wearing nothing down there. And this one, well, it feels pretty random to me. What is up with that cabinet behind her? And even in this closer up picture over here, it still looks like she is really not wearing anything down there. Are we actually getting a commando version of Nico Robin? Face looks fine. And we get to see a dude behind in the background, on the right side. He looks almost like my long lost cousin or brother or something with shorter hair. Next up. Not sure if I like it. Oh, I think we are supposed to add our own beer bottles, our own wine bottles on the shelf. Yeah. Next up, we have Akame ga Kill SDEF, and this is a pretty accurate looking SDEF if we compare her face to the manga or even the anime adaptation. We don't get many figures of her, so this is a pretty good one. Fortunately, this is by Manta Studio, and Manta Studio, they're actually known for their Code Geass CC figure. I have forgotten they made an SDEF figure, and I'm glad to see her turning out very well. Moving up next, we have Anya again by Mar and Versus Studio, and this looks like they just took the base directly from Aniplex Bochi the Rock figure and then they slapped Anya on it. I think they copied Aniplex base over here, and I'm not sure if I like it. Putting aside the base, even Anya's face look a bit odd over here. I'm quite picky, I'm telling you that. I'm quite picky with faces in general. Here we have Hui Xiang Studio Shimoe Koharu from Blue Archive. Yeah, this one looks good, except the photograph is out of focus. Oh, come on. They had one job. Or maybe it is just the quality of the image being so poor, so low in resolution. Once they become bigger, then they look blurry. Oh my god, the picture is out of focus, man. But Hui Xiang Studio is easy to recommend. I've brought up this name many times. Nothing much to discuss over here when the picture is so blurry. Oh, finally, a close-up look of her face. So what do you think? I think it looks pretty good. In fact, this is one of my favorite Shimoe Koharu figures across all brands, and regardless of whether it is genuine PVC or third party. Oh, Hui Xiang Studio again, but Yuzuriha Inori. I know that you may be waiting for the PVC figure by Solarain, but this is bloody good. This is so good, and obviously more detailed, right? I know that it is a matter of taste. Some of you will prefer a less fragile PVC figure and you want to support licensed figure stuff. You want to support the anime studios, the game developers, and so on. And that is a great thing. And then there are those of you who prefer more detail, more intricate stuff. This is a great Inori figure to go for. Right? This may be something you want to take a serious look at. Two versions. I am just speechless right now on how nice, how well she turns out. See, I saved so many pictures because I liked the figure. Next up, Yin Studio, Wuthering Waves, Cantarella, and going by just this one single picture alone, yep, go for it, buy one. Yin Studio is also a brand that I have been recommending over and over many times because they are fine. Not the best brand out there, but as you can see, they get the faces of the figures right. So it is easy to recommend really. Oh, that jellyfish base is so exquisite. Wow. Wow. I have to say the face and the base, they are exceptional. Damn. Yin Studio again, Wuthering Waves, Fluidalis. See how good that face looks over here? Was it last week's episode of Figure News Fix? Or was it One Fest, right? One Fest coverage. I told you that they are starting to become a licensed figure brand. And going by these pictures over here, I think you can easily see why. They are making licensed Nikkei figures up next. This is virtually licensed figure level quality we are looking at. Of course, do not compare this to any other figures by Forge Japan or Insight, but this is so good. And look at the bruises on her leg, the injuries over there. I wish that this is something more genuine figure brands would do. Battle damage with actual injury, actual scarf on the skin region of the figure. Another figure over here by Yin Studio Phoebe. And I want a look of a face. There we go. Virtually identical to official product pictures, man. So today's star brands, we have Hyperspace Studio, Yin Studio right here, and so what else? What else? There was one more earlier that I praised a lot, HeRa Studio, obviously. Up next, Mimo Studio, they also make a lot of Anya crossovers, but they are one of the better Anya figure brands out there. This is a Supergirl crossover, looking good, no complaints from me. And it is exactly meme figures like this that makes me want a third-party Anya figure. This is something worth looking at. The Scream. I need one of these, man. I really need it. Both the Scream and this figure. And then I'll put on the troll face. This is so good. Up next, we have Miwu Studio, Blue Archive, Riku Hachima Aru. Yeah, I keep forgetting her name and call her AI or I. This is the same dress version, the Memorial Lobby version that Good Smile is making, I believe. Though they should have given us this face expression over here, isn't it? I don't think Good Smile is giving us that option. That is the unfortunate part. Looking fine, I would say. It looks fine over here. Next up, we have Dodomo Studio, Chainsaw Man, Makima. Oh, that is a good Makima face right there. So far, today's episode, everything are either above average or excellent even, with the rare exception of a few brands where they give us something that looked like price figures. Next up, yep, I remember this one, MoKu Studio Shimakaze from Kantai Collection. Of course, you'll buy it for that gyat right there, which is so good. Who doesn't love a lolly with childbearing hips, isn't it? And this one was pretty cheap, around $120 if I remembered correctly. She is turning out excellent from the looks of it. Yeah, the face looks pretty nice as well. I want one, obviously. I do want one. Just that there are too many things to buy. Next one, MS Studio Android 18 from Dragon Ball. And okay, that realistic face once again looks nice but nothing exceptional. Oh, we do have anime version face. Much better. Okay, this one I like. Oh, that is so shiny, so bright. This is pearlescent paint, I think. It is so shiny that even among genuine licensed figures, I rarely see a figure this shiny. Next up, New Age Studio Alicia School Uniform from Honkai Impact. Third. Okay, the face is good. No problems over here. And I believe you get to choose between the bare legs version and the black stocking version for her legs. This one was also pretty cheap, plus minus $120. Nice gradients work on the hair. The school uniform, the white uniform could make do with a bit more shading, but this is a low budget resin figure, so I'll give it a pass over here. Oh, pink version. Okay, so I would take this one over the pink version because there is too much pink over here, not enough color contrast. Next up, this is among the worst figure. Top 3 worst figure into this episode. Number 8 Studio Kikoru Shinomiya, and I have no idea what happened to her face right there. Oh god, that is so bad. Because the rest of the figure is excellent, but somehow they screwed up her face. Okay, I don't have a closer up picture. Can I zoom in this picture over here? Let's close this window. And zoom in. Oh god, that is a train wreck. An absolute train wreck of a face. It is so sad because her outfit, her body, the detailing and everything else is excellent, only for them to screw up the face. I'm not sure what happens over there. Is it the eyes or the shape of her face overall, but something is very wrong over here. This is a bad buy. Right, next up we have NTR Studio and their low effort figures again. Mato Seihei no Slave Kyoka Uzen. Yeah, once again, one of those low effort figures wearing minimal clothes and then they look like prize figures, which I can't recommend at all. I would rather you spend that $120 or even $100 on a Chinese PVC scale figure. This is the only picture I have. And then next up, Anya again by OKK Studio. This is based on the Code White movie, I think. The same outfit. Yeah, nothing special. Next up, we have Origin Studio Asuka from Evangelion. Realistic face and also anime face. Realistic face looks fine. And then we have, oh, okay, a bust figure for you to display the head separately. The pose is good though. The pose is pretty dynamic. And here is an anime version's face. What do you think about her face? To me, it feels like something is a little bit off. And maybe it is her head. It is like her head is so big. And then down here the face is so small. Something like that. This is the kind of sharp face that I was talking about. Asuka has a sharp face. But this time around, it feels like she has a very brainy skull. A big skull up here. And then the face is so small down here. I'm not sure if this is an effect of a wide angle lens, right? But this photograph over here, I think it is a wide angle lens problem. Because from the side, right? You look at her from the side, the shape of her head is completely normal. But here it looks like her head is quite big. I think this is a lens problem. Camera lens. I just have to wonder if the figure will lean over time. Excellent pose otherwise. Okay, this picture right here, her head looks a lot more normal. Maybe I'm just over-interpreting things, right? That has to be a camera lens problem right there. Next up, we have PA Create Studio, which is a brand that makes excellent figures as well. The first Descendant Alt Bunny. Okay, this just went on pre-order very recently. 6 months ago, I think. And looking fantastic. Oh, I want one. Science fiction, my kind of thing. The face is generic, realistic face. If I were to display this one, I would display it with the helmet on and make the figure look more detailed. Whoa! Yeah, it is pretty unfortunate that I'm not sure if I like the face, or they could have given us a face that looks very similar to Stellar Blade's Eve. Yeah, I love everything about the figure except the face. I think this figure would look great if Eve from Stellar Blade just put her head on it, and this one would be perfect. Next up, we have Pineapple Studio Red Hood from Nikkei, and this is a pretty good figure of Red Hood. Okay, I need to zoom in a little bit over here. Hopefully we get to see the figure a bit clearer. Okay, the picture is becoming blurry now. The dress is so shiny once again, a tad bit too shiny even. Anyways, you can always wait for the upcoming Good Smile version, isn't it? The same one in red dress. Next up, we have Pink Soul Studio Nana Komatsu from Nana. This is beautiful. Yeah, her eyes are quite something. I feel like I'm running out of adjectives to describe anime figures. And I'm not sure why they took the pictures diagonal. Why? Why would you do that? The figure looks really good, but why is the photograph diagonal? Next up, we have Polaris Studio Original Character Holiday Mate. Okay, she's pretty for sure, but original characters, and for some reason she reminds me of Yelan a bit, but with long hair. And we don't get to see much otherwise. Next up, this is turning out to be so good. Pop Art Studio Yoruichi from Bleach. This is genuine licensed figure level. I need to remind you that this is final production pictures, not a prototype. Boy, this is so good. Who was it? I think someone on my Facebook page, you DM'd me personally to ask me about my opinion on whether you should pre-order a Yoruichi resin figure from a third-party figure brand. You ask for my opinion. Is it risky? Is it safe? And I still remember my reply to you is that we are talking about shonen anime. And in general, third-party resin figure brands, they do a pretty good job. Of course, there are rare exceptions where they screw up, but in general, they do a pretty good job. So, whichever version you pre-ordered, I hope that it is this version because she turns out perfect. Yeah, it couldn't get any better than this. Next up, Asuka again by Adalyn Studio, and this one is also pretty meh. Yeah, like you should save up more. If this thing is very cheap, maybe $130, still avoid it. Save up more for better figure of Asuka. There are so many options out there. Next up, Grooming Studio Wuthering Waves Zani. Oh, fantastic. This looks so good. Oh. Man. The paint work. You see, this picture over here is a perfect example, right? You have glossy tie stockings and then the skin is matte. You need to mix up the texture. You need some matte, you need some gloss and anything in between. If the figure is entirely in matte finish, then it looks pretty bland. This is so good, man. I don't even need to zoom in. I can tell that they nailed her face. This is so... I really wish that I have more budgets to buy all these things and review them. Seriously, man. I don't think I've reviewed a single third-party resin figure this year. Yes, because even the genuine figures are draining my wallet dry already. I would love to purchase more. Here we have Sakura Core Studio Genshin Impact Sick Wind or Sick Wind, right? Did I get that correctly? And I wasn't even aware that this figure existed. I must have missed out on my figure news fix. One single picture, but the paintwork looks good. Next up, Sakura Core Studio again, Ayanami Rei. I remember this one very well. And between the bandaged version and this school uniform version, I think the bandaged version looks a bit better, right? She's giving off that fallen angel vibe. Just that I'm not sure why they went for this color or finish for her wings. I think a non-translucent finish and doing some weathering would be a lot nicer. It looks like her wings are translucent. I can't tell for sure, but it looks like it to me. Here we have ACGN Studio, Bunny Girl Sukatsuki Ryo. This is far from the best Sukatsuki Ryo figure. You buy it solely for fan service and not much else. Can't say I can recommend it unless you could cast it off, obviously. I don't think this is cast-offable at all. At least she is not too expensive. Next up, wow. There is someone who uploaded more pictures of this figure in the subreddit Anime GK. You can look for it. I'm not taking those pictures and putting it here because this thing is cast-offable. Both top and bottom, you get that pink slit between their legs. Just that the faces of these two figures, Pyra and Mitra, not very good. It feels like looking at typical H anime artwork. Yeah, it feels that way to me. But I'm sure that people would buy it simply because of how they love giant oppai. Yeah, and the figure is so glossy, so shiny, so much lube applied. It looks good in a way, I won't lie. Moving up next, I think this is also one of the main highlights this week from Chikara Studio, a 1x4 scale Vermeil. From Vermeil in gold, right? It is a seasonal anime, probably based off a manga. And nobody really bothered to make figures of her. At least in the third-party world of resin figures. But this one over here turns out so good. The only unfortunate part is that the realistic face, I'm not sure what to think. But the one on the right, that is the anime face. The anime face is quite a bit better, I have to say. And next up, we have Ship Girl Studio. They make a lot of Adalyn stuff. Their Musashi, they really went crazy on the shading work on her tail, but this is the only picture I have. We don't have a closer look of her face. They have already released their Shinano, I believe. The Shinano was pretty bland because of the color, just white and grey. This one looks so much better. Here we have Showgirl Studio and Nami from One Piece. Great face once again. I'm always looking for the face. Pretty bland figure otherwise. And next up, Soda Studio. I'm trying to speed things up. This is getting pretty long because there are so many figures. Original character, Demon Prince, the Fallen, whatever it is. Soda Studio is a licensed figure brand. This is their own original character. Yeah, no comments from me. I think it looks good. Looks exactly like their official product pictures. And here we have Starry Sky Studio and the Raiden Shogun, which once again, they nailed the face and the shading on her, on her sleeves over here. What do you call this? Gloves. Can I call that a glove? It stretches all the way up to her arm over here. Yeah, the shading work is nice. And next up, we have Stigmata's Studio 1x4 scale Adalyn Friedrich the Grosser. So it's the Grosser or the Gross, right? Holy cow, look at the quantity. How many of these figures they're making? They must have received a huge order. And there's a second version. Yep, they have two versions over here. I think I prefer this sitting version. Look at the gloss on the outfit. And this is the face. Oh, nice work, Stigmata Studio. Another standout figure brand in today's episode. Moving up next, we have ACGN Studio, Ayanami Rei, and this is the one I was talking about earlier. When I said there is a version that I prefer, this one, right? It is a more generic traditional bike, but the customization they did, Ayanami bike, I love it. The decal work on the bike is fantastic, and I find it hard to choose between a casual outfit and the plug suit, but for a generic sports bike rather than a science fiction-ish one like the one earlier, I think the casual outfit is more appropriate, right? Yeah, but both are looking good. I would be fine with any. Look at the texture on the shots over there, the jeans texture. I love seeing that on resin figures. Next up, we have TCT Studio Nami Gaming. I'm not sure if that face is out of character or perfectly in character, but I find this to be pretty appealing for some reason. Next up, Marin Kitagawa by Temple Studio and DTalon Studio. DTalon, I think. Alright. I think the face is good, right? Many third-party brands could not get Marin Kitagawa's face right, but this one is looking fine, just that they have stiff competition from licensed, genuine figure brands. Yep, a closer-up look. Okay, this is about 90% there. I'm not sure why. Let me take back what I just said. I said that the face looked great from this picture. Now I get a closer look. I feel like the lower half of her face, the nose region and the mouth region, it is like protruding out frontwards a little bit, don't you think? It still looks like Marin, but it feels like the sculpt on the face could make do with some improvements. This is like 80% good rather than 100%. Why are the third parties struggling Marin's face? I have no clue at all. Nice back. Everything else, the paint work is nice, however. Next up, TGZW Studio licensed figure brand and their original singer. Okay. Not interested, but I just have to marvel on how realistic the jeans looks. Yeah. Next up, the same brand, TGZW Studio, and this is among the best Kami figure I've seen in the recent year. This is also the Kami that I like best. I like this way better than the Street Fighter 6 version. Woo. I'm not sure if I like the base because there is too much green color, but putting aside the base, the main figure looks fantastic. The face couldn't get any better than this. Yeah. Right, next up we have the Space Studio 2B from Nier Automata. Yeah. Her backside is everything when it comes to this figure and they got it right. The problem is that even though her backside and her body is spot on, I'm not sure if I like the face. It doesn't look like her, right? If you watched the animation, the anime adaptation, or even the game itself, if you played the game, the face is different, doesn't look like her. So if you bought this one, don't fret. I would say display her with the blindfold on and the problem is solved. Yeah. It sucks, but at least you can still save the figure in some way. Next up, another Asuka, the Summer Plants Studio. Okay, I do remember this one. She was pretty cheap. Same thing from Ayanami Rei. It is like they went all out with the body proportions. The body sculpt looks very nice. And then what else do we have over here? DTalon Studio. Oh yeah, this Roxy Migodia. She is almost Hadaka and she's holding the head in front to cover herself up. DTalon Studio is also a brand that I can easily recommend. They always get the faces of their figures right, so go for it if you like what you're looking at. Next up, we have DTalon Studio again, and this Miku, nah, I don't like it that much. Giant Oppai. And this is what the face looks like. So face-wise, no problem. But I find that her goggles, is that goggles or glasses on top, is a bit unrefined, right? Yeah, the white color frame, I'm not sure how to describe it. It is uneven. Next up, we have Thunder Z Studio or Thunder Z Studio for those of you in the US. Stellar Blade Raven. Oh, this is good. This is very good. The hair is also super shiny. It almost looks like wires to me. Looks like cables. Look at that, man. Nice. Thunder Z Studio. I will keep an eye on you. Wow. Okay, see, I saved so many pictures because I liked what I'm looking at. Next up, Tofo Figure Studio. I've covered this brand so many times. Fate Grand Order, Lancelot. This is basically Melusine but different servant class, right? Very good. And their figures, they are all 1/7, which is why this looks pretty small, but the paintwork, the face and everything is spot on. And the problem with Tofo Figure Studio is that their stuff are not cheap. 1/7 like this, pretty simple figure, but you're looking at $230 to $250. Looks like they received a lot of orders. Next up, we have Tofo Figure Studio again, Uma Musume. And going by the way they are painting their figures and the sculpt they are doing, not to mention their 1/7 scale, this could be another one of those brands where they are buying up genuine GKs and recasting them. Yeah, could be the case over here. Next up, Unicorn Studio. Yep, Unicorn Gundam, right? Mecha Musume Unicorn Gundam, their own original concept art. Looks really nice, and I would take this orange version because of the color contrast. Orange and black, they go really well together. It is more like gold color, right? In the actual Gundam, it is black and gold. And then the white color one here still looks pretty nice, but this one is... I don't like this color variant. And the white color is also fine. Yeah, white and blue. Next up, we have Unique Art Studio, licensed figure brand, and this is Mai Shiranui, very obvious. So much effort for the base, and then the figure is so simple. Sometimes I don't get these brands. I think the face looks okay, but you know, licensed figure brand, not too surprising. And here we have Venus Mint Studio, Azalyn, Shinano, and Musashi. Oh, this is turning out so well. You should be excited if you pre-ordered this one. This pair of figures is turning out exactly just like in the official pictures. This is dish artwork, right? Yeah. Dish artwork, and oh, these two are among the best figures as well in today's episode. And then, what else do we have over here? Violent Bear Studio, Nami. One single picture, but the face looks fine. Next up, okay, Waku Studio is also one of the top brands that I forgot to mention when it comes to Anya figures. I mean, look at this picture. How beautiful it is compared to a few other brands earlier. So we have CR Studio, ZH Studio, and I forgot to mention Waku Studio. It is an obvious one when it comes to Anya figures. The paintwork is next level. And the face is 100% accurate. These are all Waku Studio. Cosplaying as Napoleon. This is the kind of crossovers that I love to see when it comes to Anyas, man. Spy. Waku Studio again. It looks so high quality, the paintwork. Wow. Okay, here we have cosplaying as Chang'e, a mythological woman who lives on the surface of the moon in China. And they have LED base from the looks of it. This one, I'm not that big of a fan, but hey, still looks pretty good. USB Type-C port for charging. And here, Waku Studio again. I will just cycle through the pictures because I have no comment. And this is Waku Studio's Your Forger, which once again is almost genuine figure level quality. Next up, Hui Xiang Studio, we have Nami from One Piece, and this thing is massive. No, I don't mean her chest. Her chest is normal size. Look at this thing. Wow. Nami's noble phantasm of some kind, I suppose. 74 centimeters. That is crazy. For 1/6 scale. This is Whale Song Studio FGO. Seishorin Kiara, and I have forgotten about the existence of this figure, but the face is spot on, beautiful. We need a licensed figure of this character, man. Is this like Avenger, right? She's Avenger class, I think. Oh, this is so good, man. Next one, Hui Xiang Studio again, Delisa Amano and Mikari Tachibana from 2.5D Dimensional Seduction. Okay, this is the only pick I have, but for this pair of characters, you also have genuine figures to choose from. Next up, Miku from Hui Xiang Studio again. Almost Hadaka. The sculpting on her body is quite something else. You get to see the rib cage very clearly. Yes, not healthy, too skinny, but you know, as a form of art, very nicely executed. Here we have Geisha Studio Zenless Zone 0 Evelyn Chevalier. Yep, this one was on pre-order not too long ago, like 3-4 months ago. Took them so quickly to release it, but I'm not liking the face. Yeah, they went for a realistic face over here. And there is some wide angle lens distortion over here, I can tell. Next up, we have Hyperspace Studio. Makes 1x4 scales, and their figures tend to be quite good. This is Noshiro from Adalyn, and we do have anime version, unfortunately, which looks great. Yeah, that is a good Noshiro face right there. Just that, where is my shading on the hair? This is plain black. There are two versions, if I remembered correctly over here. Yup, this is the lying version, and there is the standing version earlier. This would be Genshin Impact Moalani from Yao Ming Studio, another brand that I've covered so many times, and you can pre-order it with a peace of mind. Look how great her face turns out to be. Yeah, they have no problem with figure faces in general. Detail level, shading, paintwork is also mostly good. Yeah, above average at this point, and their figures are not too pricey either. So now you get a close look at the face, and I don't have much else to comment. Moving up next, Yao Ming Studio again, Genshin Impact Varisa. It looks so good, isn't it? Yeah, not something I would collect, I would buy, but you look at the detail part. The paint on her hair, the turquoise greenish paint, painted to precision, no paint bleeding. And you get a look at more angles over here. Yeah, very precise painting. No paint bleeding, no scratches of any kind. White stockings but with pink color shading. A lot of Chinese figures, they do the same paint style nowadays to imitate the illusion of the stockings being stretched thin, and then you get to see the skin, a bit of it underneath. Yeah, so this is very good painting. I'm trying to speed things up because this video is getting pretty long. Here we have Yaoling Zawu Studio Delicious in Dungeon Marseille, and this is one of the worst figure this week. Top 3 worst as well, because they screwed up her face real good. What the hell is that, man? This is straight up bootleg face. Oh my god. I mean, you look at the 2D artwork behind that was printed on the box, and then you compare it to whatever he is holding. Do they look alike to you? No. Oh, they dropped the ball with this one. This is so bad. Once you screw up the face, look at this. You look at this. This was what they promised, and this is what you are getting. Next up, yeah, HeRa Studio Guns Reika Shimo HeRa 1x3 scale. It is a doll, you can strip it Hadaka, but this is one of the better dolls coming from this brand. There are those that look terrible, the face, but this one is okay, just that she looks a bit thick. I suppose that you can't avoid it because they need the joints inside. The face on this one looks good. And next up, finally, the last brand for today, ZH Studio, the master of Anyas. So you will be looking at a lot of Anya crossovers, and I'm sure you guys can tell how good the paint work is, right? I think eventually I need to buy one of these things. Eventually. ZH Studio, guys. Wait, the eyes actually glow in the dark? That would be even better. I think the eyes do glow in the dark. Man, these brands, they keep sneaking in extra special features that I would have never thought of. Okay, this one I'm not that big on the, of a fan cosplaying as Zetsu, but this brand, man, whew. Cosplaying as Gojo Satoru from JJK. Here, oh, Pokemon crossover. This is a good one. This is a very good one. This is what Anya is about. I prefer the white one over here. Yeah, this one, it feels like there is too much purple. And what we have? Hockey Girl. Nothing special over here. Oh, this is so lovely, man. I would take the pink one. For some reason, the colors on this look nicer. And here, oh, another brand. Z Production Studio and Kuwon Studio, Blue Archive, Shirakami, Shiroko. 1/6 scale action figure from the looks of it, and the face is spot on. Perfect. No problems at all. Yep, one single picture over here, and that would be all for which third-party resin figure brands are any good today. So I have timestamps down in the description below, so that you can navigate from brand to brand if you want to skip through certain brands, or maybe you watched 20 minutes today and you want to continue some other day, then you can use the timestamp to skip to the brand that you want to check out. So if you have something to say or something to share, your past experience, your most recent purchase of a third-party resin figure, whether it is any good, are there any difficulties in assembling them, stuff like that, please do share it with me down in the comments below. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please do leave behind a like and subscribe to this channel for more anime figure content every week. Until then, thanks for watching and I will see you soon. Goodbye.